My forensics coach is what some may call a stickler for detail. Bordering on neurotic, her areas of obsession range from perfect grammar in our speeches right down to brushing our teeth after lunch. Although she may not follow me around checking to see if my toothbrush is wet or not, she is constantly tugging on my tie, fixing my collar, and even doing that motherly spit thing. You know, that thing where they lick their fingers and wipe smudges off their kids' faces? Ugh. But nothing has to be more perfect than our clothing. In fact, we even have clothing checks before we board the bus in the morning. But I think she missed these. Like all forensics competitors, we spend countless hours every year trying to find just the right product to sell. Things we take into account are usefulness, product design, and even the quality of the product. All of those criteria outline the shoe that was perfectly designed for the human foot. Crocs. And as for the color, well, I don't even think my coach could argue that they make this a perfectly color coordinated outfit. So, no matter what your shoe or career needs, you can find just the right Croc shoe to fit your unique and personal style. And that's no crock. According to an article by ABC News, Dr. John Guarini of Boston has given Crocs 2 thumbs up. And according to another one by CNN Money, Crocs Company has become one of the most talked about shoes in history. Well, at least the history of shoes, that is. And a writer from a popular magazine blog points out the inventors of Crocs have created their own category of footwear, which is known as ugly but comfortable. So, I guess it's goodbye Prada, hello Crocs. So, with that in mind, I'll show you how the history kicked off for Crocs shoes, explain how the anatomy washes away the competition, and take a bite out of the health benefits, value, and cost. Lastly, you'll even walk away with information on how Crocs have impacted our society. Now, to say that the history of Crocs is a long one isn't true, for Crocs have only been on the market for a short period of time. The shoe frenzy started. Wait, did I say frenzy? Sorry, that's getting me confused with an actual crocodile's feeding frenzy, but I'm sure you get the picture. The craze first began among the boating community, but quickly spread to other areas such as work, play, and lounging. But really, it started in 2002 when Lyndon Duke Hansen was presented with a very interesting idea. At that time, his friend, Scott Siemens, came across a weird sort of clog. It wasn't just that the shoe looked strange. What grabbed Siemens' attention was its resin material. The material was lightweight and waterproof, and unlike plastics and rubber, it resisted bacteria and fungus. This new phenomenon made of resin, or croslite as it was dubbed, softened with body heat. This allowed it to take on the anatomy of a truly great shoe. You see, it was the invention of the circulation nubs which allowed the shoe to improve circulation and reduce muscle fatigue. Added changes such as the holes for air and water drainage and dynamic straps allowed the former spa flip-flops to be revolutionized into a shoe that, just like the animal, was ready for land and water action. Now, even with the incredible and unique design of the Crocs shoe, there are many benefits to it that surpass expectation upon first wearing them. First of all, Crocs weigh just a mere 6 ounces. That means they are lightweight, yet still durable. Next, due to the amazing Croslite material, Crocs can be sterilized in just water and bleach. So all you have to do is simply spray with a water and bleach solution and wipe the grime and bacteria away. It's that simple. This makes them still durable, yet even more easy to clean, which is an ideal quality that fits almost any type of environment in which you work. One of those areas happens to be hospitals, which is the number one place where Crocs are worn today. Germs don't stand a chance against these Crocs. According to another article by ABC News, Dr. John Guarini of Boston has given Crocs 2 thumbs up. He notes that Crocs are lightweight and cushioned in the sole, forefront, and heel. Dr. Guarini also points out that Crocs have added health benefits, such as the wide toe box so toes aren't squeezed and pressured, a built-up arch for more support, and a strapper closed back to keep the ankle supported and aligned. Crocs are also non-marking and slip-resistant. Even for being a trendy shoe, Crocs are almost as supportive as a running shoe. In fact, a recent article in Running Magazine states that Crocs are welcoming to runners' tiring toes and aching arches. And everyone knows healthy feet mean happy feet. Now that we know what the benefits are, we need to move on to value. Naysayers of Crocs feel the bright colors and lack of traditional shoe characteristics take away from the value of the shoe, though it's safe to say that those people are afraid of looking too hip. You see, it is their wide variety of color and styles that should make them very appealing to all. So no matter what the outfit, you can find just the right pair of Crocs shoes to match your most creative attire. Why not even throw on a pair of our Crocs socks to accent your amazing new shoes? And for our littlest Crocs out there, try our new baby Crocs that fit even the smallest of feet with ease. As we move on to cost, we find another surprising facet of the Crocs shoe. For being durable, practical, and beneficial, I think you're going to be surprised by the cost. Instead of costing a leg and a foot, they price in at just around $29.99 at most retailers. Crocs are sold in a variety of shoe stores, from small town stores to national shoe chains, so there's no need to go down under to get a pair of these Crocs. It's safe to say that a store in your hometown offers Crocs in a variety of sizes and colors. So why not buy yourself a heap? How many pairs of shoes out there can you buy that will last for a lifetime, cost under $30, and still be good for you at the same time? Well, Crocs are, though it's not just the cost and great style that lead people to buy Crocs. Believing it is a social responsibility, the Crocs company has aligned itself with numerous organizations that benefit society. For example, during the month of October, Crocs took a portion of the sales of all pink Crocs and donated it to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. The Crocs company also supports community hospital fundraisers such as this one in Boulder. By buying a pair of Crocs, you could be saving a life. So, how do you know if you have a real pair of Crocs? Well, one more great feature about this shoe is you will know you have the actual thing when you see the crocodile symbol on the side. Not to mention its striking resemblance to an actual crocodile. Either way, it means you have an authentic pair and not some crockpot knockoff, which are completely made out of plastic. Would you wear those? Well, we all wear shoes every day when we leave the house, so why not wear a pair that you love? I guess it's time to stand up to my forensics coach and tell her that by me wearing a pair of Crocs, I'm not only selling a great product, I'm helping to save the world. Now, I'll admit, it did take a little leg twisting, but eventually I even got my coach to try on a pair of Crocs. Look at her disposition now. She was absolutely fascinated by their history, anatomy, health benefits, value, and cost, and even their impact on society. She absolutely agreed it was just the right product to sell. So now it's your turn to go out and spread the word about Crocs. Crocs shoes, unlike real crocodiles, won't bite your feet off. And of course, no actual crocodiles were harmed in the making of this speech. Good day, mate.
Soldiers. There's a war on the home front, and the enemy everywhere. In your kitchen, your living room, your dining room, your bed, and even in your clothes. I'm talking evil, insidious odors, all out to get you. Now these enemies are ranked, and the Bureau has ranked them as such. As the Ace of Spades, the cat box, so foul, the cat refuses to use it. Next is the dog, who just cleaned out that cat box. Third is the bed Grandpa slept on, the night he won the chili cook-off. And finally, sauerkraut, whatever you do with it. This war has been ongoing for generations. In the past, it has been fought with simple cover-ups, but recent developments and technologies have brought us a new weapon, and the cover-ups will stop. Know your history, and you know that the Manhattan Project brought us the A-bomb. The Cold War brought us the H-bomb. And soldiers, I'm introducing Operation Enduring Odor. And I give you the F-bomb. The early stages of Operation Enduring Odor were conducted in complete secrecy, codenamed the Febreze Project. In the early 1990s, a crack team of scientists began developing a chemical formula as our nation's top priority to eliminate odors on contact, leaving the area smelling fresh and clean. The task was huge, and so was the initial product. But after a little fine-tuning, it has been perfected for handheld use. We know the enemy. We have the weapon. This briefing is meant to cover 4 main topics. First is the weapon's details and inner workings, followed by the safety overview, tactical applications, and finally, cost and procurement. Developed and patented in 1998 by chemists toiling around the clock at secret labs in Procter & Gamble in the American heartland of Cincinnati, Ohio, is where this weapon got its start. These chemists soon uncovered a secret that was destined to become indispensable in dispensing room odors. The secret to not just masking room odors, but unmasking the causes. They developed an odor eliminator through a new use of beta-cyclodextrin, codenamed Cyclo-D. But just how does Cyclo-D work, you may ask? Cyclo-D is a negatively charged, cylindrically shaped molecule. And when the positively charged odor particles are attracted to the negatively charged Cyclo-D, the unique cylindrical shape absorbs, surrounds, and eliminates the odor. Whereas some room deodorizers simply cover up room odors, using Febreze is like using a bazooka to blast the bad odors, enabling you to sweep away the stale and stifling room odors. But if all this cyclodextrin power has you shaking in your boots, relax. It is completely safe to use. All that is contained within each bottle of Febreze is water, a fragrance, and Cyclo-D, which is made from corn. Cyclo-D is also used in fruit juices and chewing gums to help retain the flavor, and in lotions to help prevent skin irritation. It will shock and awe your finest silks and fabrics, but won't harm them. And it has been bestowed with the seals of approval from both Good Housekeeping and IAMS, so you know that it is a quality product, safe to use around kids and pets. Odor-causing bacteria, unhealthy allergens, dirty sock drawers, wet dogs, and tennis shoes. Some of the smelliest things on earth. But luckily, the chemists at Febreze have developed a whole arsenal of products to help defend you and your family against these distinct odor foes. First is Febreze Fabric Refresher, specially developed to eliminate odors in fabrics, enabling you to make that dirty gym bag smell like a breeze. Kitchen odors? One great patriot, Ben Franklin, once said, both house guests and fish stink after 3 days. Now, we can't do anything about lingering house guests, but Febreze Air Effects, specially developed to eliminate odors in the air, can help win the battle against malingering kitchen odors. Allergies become nothing to sneeze at when you use Febreze Allergen Reducer and reduce up to 75% of all airborne allergens. Use Febreze Auto in your car and you will get a fresh, clean scent without an overwhelming fragrance. Now, even the best of pets smell sometimes, and no one wants their house to smell like good old Fido. Use Febreze Pet Odor Eliminator, specially developed with Cleanse Air to break down the dirt and oil so you don't have to. A few squirts of Febreze antimicrobial around your house, and you will kill 99.9% of all odor-causing bacteria, leaving your house not only smelling fresh and clean, but being fresh and clean. Fragrance acclimation? Ever become too familiar with just one scent? This problem has been dealt with Febreze Noticeables, the first plug-in deodorizer that automatically alternates between 2 fresh scents, leaving your house smelling refreshed week after week. Now, you can purchase a 9-ounce bottle of Febreze Air Effects for just $3.29. This price tag includes the patent of a proven formula, both seals of approval from Good Housekeeping and IAMS, and finally, its listed safe ingredients. Or you could spend more money on the next leading competitors, which claim to eliminate odors, and this price tag does not include a patent nor a proven formula, has no seals of approval, And finally, doesn't even list their ingredients. Do you really want to use something around your house that doesn't even say what's in it? Apart from the Febreze Air Effects, you can purchase Febreze Fabric Refresher for just $5.99 at any drug or grocery store all over the nation and globe. And Febreze Noticeables can be purchased for just $6.59. Soldiers, you know the weapon's details and inner workings. You understand the safety overview, tactical applications, and finally cost and procurement. It's time for battle. It's time for brave soldiers to stand up and take the fight to the enemy with Febreze. Neutralize the enemy, and we will win. You are our first and last line of defense. And our weapon of choice, Febreze. Good luck, and God bless.
A classic pair of red Chuck Taylors, a sassy red Gap t-shirt, a trend-setting red iPod, and a crazy cool red Motorola Razr. That's quite a fashion statement, and a statement that you care. You care because you purchased Product Red items. In order to produce red products, Product Red Company teams up with 4 of the world's most popular brands: Apple, Motorola, Gap, and Converse. If you buy a red product, a red company will give a percentage of its profits to AIDS treatment in Africa. All you have to do is upgrade your choice and choose Product Red. Today, we will find out how this sales idea began, discover what appealing, high-quality products are available to us, and see exactly how one of your purchases would help someone with AIDS. To begin, Product Red was created specifically to help increase awareness and money for the Global Fund. Bobby Shriver, chairman of an AIDS foundation in Africa, and Bono, the frontman of rock group U2, came up with the idea. Since the sales began less than a year ago in May 2006, Red products have contributed over $25 million to the Global Fund. The parentheses in the logo are called the Embrace, because with our purchases, we can embrace those who need our help. To start our Red product exploration, let's see what has been created especially for you. There is now a special edition, Vibrant Red iPod Nano. The world's best-selling music library may have you dancing with wild abandon, getting pumped during a cardio workout, or quietly listening to music during a long trip or study session. The Red Nano comes in 2 sizes, 4 or 8 gigabytes. The new, stylish 8 gigabyte holds up to 2,000 songs and costs $249. The lightweight 4 gigabyte holds up to 1,000 songs and costs $199. Both models have a brilliant 1.5-inch color display, up to 24 hours of battery life for longer listening, and are priced identically to the non-Product Red Nanos. So why not buy a red one? When you do, $10 for each red iPod sold is contributed to the Global Fund. You can also buy or give the gift of iTunes with the iTunes Product Red gift card, and 10% of your $25 purchase will help those with AIDS. Maybe it's time for you to purchase or upgrade a cell phone. Don't just make a call, make a statement. Purchase Motorola's new Red Razr cell phone. This phone combines superb performance with cutting-edge features, all within the sleek design of one of the slimmest phones around. This shiny phone has music, video, web browsing, messaging capabilities, and a camera. Currently, Sprint offers the best deal: $40 for a new Red Razr, a new Sprint contract, and 450 minutes per month. These prices are the same if you were to buy non-Product Red Razr. But when you choose one Red Razr, you contribute $17 to those in Africa. Motorola also offers a coordinating headset priced at $69.99. Consider a Product Red item in clothing or accessories. Gap is the perfect place to find casual, yet trendy and affordable clothing. Gap is also the company with the biggest impact, donating 50% of all sales. The Gap line started with the iconic Gap t-shirt. Made in Africa from 100% African cotton, this t-shirt cost $28. Other words available include treasured, desired, and more. The t-shirt is available in a variety of styles and colors for both men and women. Other Gap Red items include jeans, jackets, and jewelry. Unisex backpacks and women's tote bags are perfect to carry important documents to a meeting or for teachers and students to carry books to a class. A genuine leather bracelet is a gift anyone could enjoy. The bracelet is also adjustable, so it will fit everyone. It has a single red African bead, inspired by West African trade beads. It's available in 5 different colors and only costs $10. Gap Red gift cards are also available to give to one or more than one friend or loved one for special occasions. Optional pins for only $1 each can be attached to the gift card envelope or purchased separately. Footwear fashion is offered with Converse Product Red Chuck Taylor All-Star shoes, available in 3 different styles of comfortable canvas and many colors and designs for $47. Or you can put a twist on this classic shoe and design your own definition of the perfect pair. Tap into your creative side from either low or high top for $60. You create your own shoe online and choose from 9 options, including fabric, stitching, rubber sidewall, and more. 15% of your imaginative product goes to the Global Fund. At joinred.com, you can feel free to let your red out. At this website, it's simple to locate all available items. There are store locations for your personal shopping convenience, and the main websites for all participating Red companies, including online ordering. Next, let's see how Product Red flashes a red light at the competition. SanDisk offers a similar MP3 player to Apple's iPod. Both of these music libraries are 8 gigabytes and cost $249. But the iPod has organization functions, including a stopwatch and calendar, that the SanDisk does not. The iPod also has 4 more hours of battery life and is lighter and smaller. The Red Razr has 90 minutes more of standby time than a similar Nokia phone and costs $20 less. Gap's Product Red V-neck for women has a variety of 6 colors available, but a similar Express V-neck is only available in navy. In addition, Gap offers extra and extra large sizing, while Express doesn't. Express also does not have online ordering, but Gap has both online and in-store sales. Lastly, let's compare Converse to Keds. Converse has 6 different colors able to be purchased, but Keds is limited to black only. Converse also has more sizing and costs $18 less. Finally, let's see exactly how one of your purchases would help someone with AIDS. If you were to buy either a pin or a bracelet from the Gap, you will provide 8 single-dose treatments of antiretroviral medicine to a person with AIDS. Or if you prefer a Gap t-shirt or Motorola headset, you will provide 41 single-dose treatments. If you buy either a Nano or a Razor, you will provide treatment for 1 month to a person with AIDS. It's easy to see how a little red goes a long way. Today, we have looked at the history of Product Red, the alluring products available to us, and how much your purchases help those in Africa. So, if you are thinking of purchasing an iPod, phone, shoes, or clothing, all you have to do is upgrade your choice. Do the red thing. Choose Product Red.
My name is Junie B. Jones. The B stands for Beatrice. But I don't like Beatrice. I just like B. Junie B. Jones and the Stupid Smelly Bus by Barbara Park. Today is my first day of school, and this morning my mother walked me to the corner to wait for the bus. I was scared about the bus for a whole week. Finally, this big yellow bus came around the corner and the brakes screeched so loud I had to cover my ears. 'Cause if loud screeching noises get inside your head, you have to take an aspirin. I saw that on a TV commercial. The bus stopped right in front of me and the doors opened. These weren't regular kind of doors. These doors folded in half. I don't like that kind of door, because if it closes on you, it'll cut you in half and make a squishy noise. Mama, I don't think I want to ride the bus to kindergarten. Junie B, be a big girl and get on the bus. You can sit next to that girl over there. It'll be fun, I promise. So I got on the bus and sat down across from a curly mean girl. The bus kept stopping and starting, and lots of kids kept getting on. Loud kids, and the kind that looked like meanies. It was really loud and hot on the bus, and it smelled too. Ugh, like an egg salad sandwich. Yuck! I was on the bus for about an hour, or 3, till finally the bus stopped in the parking lot, and I jumped up really quick, because all I wanted to do was get off the stupid, smelly thing. I can't remember the rest, was waiting for me just like my mother said. She got me and a bunch of other kids in a line and marched us to the classroom. When we got there, I ran to the table with the red chair. Only guess what? There was already somebody sitting there, a girl with little red fingernails. So I tapped on her. I like to sit there, I think. No, I am. So I made a face at her. No. Then Mrs. clapped her loud hands. Class, please find a seat as quickly as possible. So I had to sit in a stupid yellow chair, the same stupid color as the stupid smelly school bus. Then Mrs. went to a big closet in the back of the room. It's called a supply closet. And she got a whole bunch of crayons and little white circles and told us to put our names on them. If anybody has trouble spelling their name, raise your hand. My grandmother Miller says that I print beautifully. That's nice, Junie. The girl with the red fingernails was quicker than me, though. She showed me her circle and pointed to her letters. L-U-C-I-L-L-E. That spells Lucille. I like that name, Lucille, because guess why? Seals are my favorite animals. That's why. Then she showed me her fingernails. She said the color was called Berry, Berry, Berry. I wish I could have my fingernails that color, but I'm only allowed to have clear. Clear is the color of spit. I hate clear. Me too. I also hate yellow, which is the color of the stupid, smelly school bus. My brother says when you ride home on the bus, kids pour chocolate milk on your head. All of a sudden, my stomach felt very squeezy, and then I heard a noise. Screech! I jumped up, looked out the window. It was the bus. It was coming to get me. I don't feel so good. Class, get in line. It's time to go home. Get in line. Just then the bell rang, and all of us marched out of the classroom. But guess what? When you're the last one in line, nobody watches you. So I found a good place and hid. It was the supply closet in the back of the room. I opened the door and squeezed into the bottom shelf. And I stayed in there for lots of minutes. And then someone came running in the room, and they said someone was missing, but they went running back out again. I still didn't come out, because when you're a good hider, you can't come out for a long time. So I told myself a story. Then I rested my eyes. And when my eyes were done resting, they woke up. I crept out of the closet, ran to the window, and guess what? There was no stupid smelly bus out there. Phew, that's a relief. Then I decided I was a little bit thirsty. I'll get a drink, I think. So I crept to the door, opened it a crack, and sniffed. 'Cause if you sniff, you can tell if there are people out there. I learned that from my dog, Tickle. Nope, don't smell anyone. So I ran down to the drinking fountain and drank for a long time. Then I decided I would go to the media center. The media center is so cool. It's like a fort, and the bookshelves are like walls. Just then I saw my most favorite thing in the whole world. It's called an electric pencil sharpener. I ran to the drawer, opened it up, and guess what? There were a whole bunch of brand new, never sharpened pencils in there. I sharpen them all. It doesn't work on crayons, though. After a while, the pencil sharpener slowed way down. It made sort of a noise. Then it didn't go anymore. Just then I heard a noise. I squatted down behind some books and peeked in between them. It was the man with the can. I saw him, but he didn't see me. He didn't come back, though. Phew, that was a close one. I decided I better find another place to hide. Running into school is way more fun than running inside your house. You can run with your arms straight out like a jet plane and zoom around, and you don't knock over the furniture. But after a while, I started jiggling up and down because I had to go potty. I ran down to the girls' bathroom really quick. But guess what? When I got there, that stupid door wouldn't open, so I kicked it. Open up! Open up! It's emergency! Hold it! I got really scared inside. I turned around. It was the man with the can, and he was running right at me. Hold it! I said hold it! That's the problem. I hold it all I can and know I'm gonna have emergency. Well, why didn't you say so, sis? He pulled out a big ring keys, opened the door, and guess what? I didn't have emergency. Phew. That was a close one. After that, I went back out into the hallway, and there were a whole bunch of people running at me. Policemen and firemen, and Mrs. and Mama, and then all of them started talking at once. And none of them was using their quiet voices. But guess what? I didn't have to ride home on the stupid smelly bus. Except the car ride home with Mama wasn't fun. She was grouchy at me. Joni B, you can't just decide for yourself not to ride home on the school bus. But there's meanies on that thing. What if you had someone to ride with? Your teacher told me of a girl, Grace, who'll be riding the bus for the first time tomorrow. Hey, I know that Grace. And so tomorrow, I get to sit on the bus with Grace. I will like that, I think. And guess what? Tomorrow, I think I might like yellow a little bit too.
James Henry Trotter had a happy life, living with his mother and father in a beautiful house by the sea. And there were always plenty of other children to play with. It was the perfect life for a small boy. But then one day, James's mother and father went to London, and a terrible thing happened. They were both eaten up by an enormous, angry rhinoceros. And poor James, well, he was sent to live with his two aunts, who were really horrible people. James and the Giant Peach by Roald Dahl.
You disgusting little beast!
You filthy little nuisance.
Oh, Auntie Spiker, Auntie Sponge, couldn't we all just go down to the seaside just for once? I am so lonely. Why, you lazy, good-for-nothing little brute.
Beat him.
I will.
James turned and ran as fast as he could. But then he saw an old man coming towards him from the distance. Come closer to me, little boy, and I will show you something wonderful. Do you know what's inside of this bag? James peered inside of the bag. But what are they? If you take them, marvelous things will start happening to you. Now, off you go. The next moment, James was running back towards the house, but his foot slipped and he fell flat on his face. The paper bag burst and the tiny things were scattered. Oh, good heavens! What's going to happen? James looked up and saw Aunt Spiker coming towards him.
Oh, why, you lazy. Look at this.
At what?
It's a peach.
Why don't we eat it?
No, look, Sponge, look. It's growing.
In half a minute, it was the size of a melon. And soon, it was the size of a car. It I know. I know. Finally, it was the size of a small house.
There's a pile of money to be made out of this. The 1 shilling to see the giant peach.
Half price for children under 6 weeks old. During all of this, James was kept locked up in his room. When evening came, the aunts ordered him outside. James stood alone out in the open. Then, he walked slowly towards the giant peach. He put a hand out and touched it. And while he was doing this, he noticed
A hole?
no, a tunnel. James crawled through the tunnel for several yards until...
I've come to the stone in the middle of the peach.
Inside of this stone was etched a doorway. James gave it a push and crawled through. Inside of the peach, there were many creatures. There was a centipede, a spider, a ladybug, and an earthworm. Oh, and each one was as big as James himself. James, you're one of us now. So give me a hand with these boots. You have a lot of boots.
I have a lot of legs.
100 to be exact. There he goes again. He doesn't have anything like 100 of them. He's only got 42.
James, don't listen to that guy. He's just a slitherer. That's all you are. You just slither along.
I glide. Suddenly, the floor gave a great heave as though a giant earthquake were taking place. But what's happening? The peach had broken out of the garden and was now rolling down a steep slope. Faster and faster it went until... stopped. The next moment, they were all outside, standing on top of the giant peach. But this is impossible. We're in the middle of the sea. Look, Dun-dun. Oh, there are 2 of them. Dun-dun, dun-dun. There are lots of them. Dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun. They're sharks. Oh, I don't want to be eaten, but they will take me first because I'm big, and I'm fat, and I'm juicy, and I have no bones.
James, surely there's something we can do. Well, there is something, but it would take hundreds of yards of string to make it work.
I can spin as much as you like.
Then I will take some string, and I will wrap it around the necks of the separate seagulls flying above. And then I will take the remaining ends, and I will wrap them around the stem of the peach. And in doing this, the seagulls will lift us out of the water.
But how do you suppose that we're even going to be able to get a loop of string around a seagull's neck?
With bait. And lucky for us, we had the biggest, juiciest, fattest earthworm in the world.
I refuse. I'm not going to be pecked to death by a bunch of seagulls.
But you won't have to give your life. All hands below deck. Miss Spider, start spinning.
Everyone rushed below except for Earthworm, who kept half of his body outside of the peach. The others waited below, ready to pull him down to safety when James gave the command. James watched as the first seagull flew into view.
Ready? And pull, rap, pull, rap, pull, rap, pull.
Well done, James. Pull,
Rap, pull, rap, pull.
Oh, I don't like this.
100, 200, pull, rap, rap.
Suddenly, the peach was lifted out of the water and began climbing towards the heavens. Well, the crew was overjoyed and sat down to rest. About an hour later, they all got to their feet.
Look, there's land below.
It's America! Far below them, the city of New York was thriving. But how do you suppose that we're even going to be able to get down? Suddenly, a huge plane whizzed past them, cutting every one of the silken strands. Down the peach fell, faster and faster. James could see the skyscrapers rising up to meet them. The tallest had a long point. The peach fell faster until... it stuck. right on that point. The point of the Empire State Building.
It's a flying saucer. Oh, my goodness.
They are men from Mars.
Oh, hello, everybody. Hello. Oh, please don't be frightened of us. We are so happy to be here.
In 5 minutes, they were all safely down, and James, well, he was telling his story to a group of children. You see, as it turns out, James Henry Trotter, who, if you remember, was once the saddest and loneliest little boy that you could find, now had all the friends and playmates in the world.
Every morning as the sun rose high over Mount Fuji, Crane would go out to her pond to count her fish. How I love my fine fat fishies! Diving, dippy, splashy, splishy. Fish for breakfast is my favorite dishy. Ooh, 2, 4, 6, 8 fish. But one morning as Crane began to count, she stopped. There are not 8 fish in my pond. I count only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, a thief has stolen one of my fine fat fish. When we find ourselves in trouble, we often seek the help of our friends. In this story, Crane is helped by a variety of very unique friends, as she outsmarts a sly fox named Dorobo the Dangerous by Marcia Vaughn. All morning as Crane worked in the rice paddy, she kept one eye on the fish pond. All afternoon, as she boiled and patted rice into balls, she kept the other eye on the fish pond. And that night, as she sipped green tea by the fire, blazing in her hibachi, she kept both eyes on the fish pond. But as soon as Crane fell asleep, down from Mount Fuji came the thief. How I love Crane's fine fat fishies, divey, dippy, splashy, splishy. Fish for dinner is my favorite dishy. Now I'll steal a fish. Ha! The next morning, what's this? There are not 7 fish left. I count only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fish. That dishonorable thief came while I was asleep. So that night, Crane decided to stay awake. But try as she might, her eyes winked and blinked and fell shut. Then every morning after that, what's this? Only 5 fish left. Only 4 fish left. Only 3 fish left. Only 2 fish left. Only 1 fish left. I'd better go around the mountain and ask the advice of Saru the monkey. Saru was as old as the moon and as wise as the world. Surely he will be able to help me. So at sunrise, Crane set off. How I love my fine fat fishies. I know how to stop a thief, said a rock in the road. How? Take me home with you. Heat me in your hibachi till I glow as red as a carp. Toss me into the fish pond and leave the rest to fate. So Crane took the rock under her wing and went down the road. Divey, dippy, splashy, splishy. I know how to stop a thief, said a slick snail slinking along a leaf. Take me home with you. Set me beside the fish pond and leave the rest to fate. So Crane took the snail under her wing and went down the road. Someone's been stealing my favorite dishy. I know how to stop a thief, said a broken sword in the road. Take me home with you. Stand me beside the fish pond and leave the rest to fate. So Crane took the sword under her wing and went down the road. How can I stop that thief? I know how to stop a thief, said a rotten egg in a tree. How? Take me home with you. Hide me in a tree above the fish pond and leave the rest to fate. tucked the rotten egg under her wing and went down the road. How I love my fine fat fishies. Timey, dippy, splashy, splishy. Someone's been stealing my favorite dishy. How can I stop that thief? I know how to stop a thief, said a piece of bark peeling off a cherry tree. How? Take me home with you. Carve me into a mask. Wear me to bed. And leave the rest to fate. So Crane took the bark under her wing and went around to the other side of the mountain. When Crane saw Saru the monkey, she bowed low and explained her problems. Saru bowed back, saying, Honorable friend, it is clear to me that Dorobo the Dangerous has been stealing your fish. Ooh! How can I stop such a dangerous fox as Dorobo? All you need is a hot rock, a slick snail, a broken sword, a rotten egg, and a piece of cherry bark. Oh, what good fortune! I have them here under my wing already. Then hurry home and prepare yourself, and leave the rest to fate. The moon rose high over Mount Fuji as Crane got ready. She put her last carp in a bucket beside her bed. Then, heating the rock in her hibachi till it glowed red, she dropped it into the fish pond. Next to the fish pond, she set the snail. And next to the snail, she stood the sword. And high in a tree, she hid the rotten egg. Then, carving the bark into a mask, Crane put it on, lay down, and fell fast asleep. The rest she left to fate. The moon set high atop Mount Fuji, when suddenly, down from the mist marched Dorobo the Dangerous, swishing his tail. How I love Crane's fine fat fishies. Divey, dippy, splashy, slishy. Fish for dinner is my favorite dishy. Now I'll steal a fish. As Robo crept up to the pond, he saw one fine, fat carp glowing in the dark. With a leap, he dived into the hot water, where it boiled and burned him, till he leapt out and slid on the snail and sat on the sword. Ow! From a branch above, the rotten egg dropped deep into Dorobo's mouth. Crane awoke. Oh, leave the rest to fate! Leave the rest to fate! But with a mask on, it sounded like, a sly fox would taste great! A sly fox would taste great! Dorobo the Dangerous was not going to stay and be eaten by such an ugly, mean-mouthed monster. Turning his tail, he dashed to the other side of Mount Fuji, where he stayed ever since. And once again, Crane sang, how I love my fine fat fishies, divey, dippy, splashy, splishy. Fish for breakfast is my favorite dishy. Boom, 2